Gemara. Friends, we're on page 45 of Masechet Zevachim over here. We've been talking all about korbanot, sacrifices, respectively, just by a kiosk, makolet place over here, as they call it, here in Israel, here in the city of Bet Shemesh. Just getting aided for this morning. And friends, we are talking about deciding laws for messianic times here in today's page inside the Gemara. And we learned in the Mishnah back in page 43 a couple of days ago. It was actually in Amud Aleph, where there was a disagreement at that time between the Tana Kama and Rabbi Simon, also popularly known as, with regards to a question about the application of pigul. Now, we've learned about pigul on various occasions here in this series already. We've discussed about it. What was that? And inappropriate thoughts relating to time regarding a given sacrifice. That's what it's known as. Now, to an animal that was to be brought on the inner altar but was being prepared in the outer courtyard. Now, the Gemara on yesterday's page brings another opinion. That's of another great rabbi, Rabbi Elazar, in the name of Rabbi Yossi HaGalili. Now, these great Talmudic rabbis we've mentioned about all throughout the series. If you watch back when we started all the way in Masechet Ketubot, multiple times we will mention many of the same great rabbis, and there were discussions they were grappling with all throughout the Talmudic times in the various different halls of Talmudic halls over there, grappling with different issues. And that's why I always state inside the Gemara, many people will disagree inside it, and this is an implication in life that there's different houses, a house of Shammai and house of Hillel, for example, where we love to argue as Jewish people. We do it respectively and in a great way, because we want to find out the emet and we want to find out the truth within regards to the different laws and how to apply them in every different aspect. So just going back now to the page of the Gemara, we're page 45 in Masechet Zevachim. So we are speaking about over here. So let's say the Gemara in yesterday's are brought, as we said before, the opinion of Rabbi Eliezer in the name of Rabbi Yossi HaGalili over here. The concluding sentence on yesterday's page was Rav Nachman quoting Rabba Bar Avuha in the name of Rav, who said that the Jewish law follows the last opinion. That's how he paskined over there. Now, let's say, follows the last opinion. Let's say, reacting to this specific ruling, the great Rabbi Rava asks, Hilcheta le Mesicheta? Are we establishing halachic rulings now for messianic times, the times of Moshiach, i.e. when the Bet HaMikdash will be rebuilt? Is this what we're doing? Now, the great Rabbi Abaya is going to respond to this, to him, by, let's say, asking him whether it would be appropriate to avoid learning any topics about the Talmud, about the temple service. Is that the right thing to do over here, about the temple service, Bet HaMikdash service? Now, since all of it should be considered Hilchata le Mesichta, rather Abaya argues we study all aspects of the Torah, even those that are not applicable, since we are commanded and rewarded for the study of Torah. Therefore, it is appropriate to learn the laws of the Bet HaMikdash, the temple, respectively, the service, for that specific same reason. Now, the great Rabbi Rabbah is going to reply over here that his question was why there is a need for a final ruling on these matters, since they are not practical at that specific point in time, that window of time. Is it practical? Now, the great commentator named Tosafot, he's going to weigh in now and explain. He points out that there are many places in the Talmud, in the Gemara, where a particular halachic conclusion is reached regarding a question about the Bet HaMikdash service. But they argue that if, let's say, is only in the cases where the ruling will have practical ramifications as well. They also bring the opinion of the great Rabbeinu Chaim HaKohen, who suggests that there is a particular problem with rulings regarding forbidden acts inside the Bet HaMikdash, since there is no reason to rule about a forbidden act in Messianic times, the time periods of Moshiach. As a general principle, let's just say over here, general klal, the study of any area of Torah is an attempt to understand the Torah's true intent, is a valuable exercise, whether the topic is, let's say, practical or esoteric. Now, nevertheless, reaching a halachic conclusion can be viewed as bowing to necessity, in as much as we need to decide how to act in a specific given case. Therefore, there's no problem with studying the laws of pigul over here, which we've been speaking about here from the onset. The only, let's say, the only surprise is to find out that there are final rulings about those laws since they are not applicable today. So that is very, very interesting. So anyone that's joining in at the moment on the channel on this live, because this happens to be a live video, please subscribe to our channel at the moment. We are recording videos every single day on different aspects here inside the Talmud. So anyone that's joining live, just please join our community over here. And very, very interesting insights. We've actually related over various different videos already here on the Daf Yomi. We've actually given about 1,000 different insights already, which is absolutely phenomenal. We started actually all the way back in Masechet Ketubot, Tractate Ketubot. If you recollect, my friends, we're talking about back in May, June 2022. So we're now on the 3.5-year stage at the moment of this cycle, which is a phenomenal achievement at the moment. And we're really going from strength to strength and learning more and growing as a community, as communities should do, let's just say, in of itself. So we've been talking about in previous pages, especially if we look back on page 36, about the improper thoughts of how that would invalidate a sacrifice. If you recollect over there in page, I think 36, we learned having the wrong intentions when bringing the korban can invalidate the korbanot, the sacrifice respectively. And we learned actually, if we go back to the perek, I think it happened to have been the Mishnah in the third perek of Masechet Zevachim. It taught us that this applies only to thoughts that focus on issues of time and place. And then we spoke about the cases of the Passover sacrifice, the Korban Pesach, and the sin offering, the Korban Chatat, having the wrong intent with regard to the purpose of the Korban, but other inappropriate thoughts will not necessarily invalidate a sacrifice. That's what we learned about previously. And we spoke about in the context over there, within regards to the topic of sprinkling blood in the wrong place on the altar, or thinking that the sacrifice will be brought or eaten by people who are temim, ritually defiled, or by erelim, people who are not circumcised, both of which are forbidden, would not affect the sacrifice. That's what we learned about over there, which is a very similar page, I felt, to this specific page. Also on 38 we learned, if we look back, these are all topics which we should do chazara, and now that we're just sitting here together on this live video, we can actually talk about it. We actually learned about in 38, if we recollect, about how sprinkling the blood in the Holy of Holies on Yom Kippur, the whole protocol within regards to that was like a central part of the special service performed by the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, on Yom Kippur, and that actually involved itself going inside the Holy of Holies. That's what we learned about, the Kodesh Kodeshim, and sprinkling the blood from his sacrifices towards the Holy Ark that stood over there at that specific point in time. Now, much of this is actually related over these laws which we've been speaking about in Parshat Vayikra, Parshat Tzav, respectively, in the book of Vayikra. We spoke about also Sefer Bamidbar yesterday, I think in the 18th chapter, where it brought about various different dinim within regards to korbanot sacrifices, respectively, over here. So friends, over here, we are a community here. We are learning about the daily Talmud every single day, which is a phenomenal achievement. Please watch over all the previous videos we have recorded. Over here, we've actually recorded already a staggering more than 1,000 videos, as we said before. And we're obviously in Masechet Zevachim at the moment, and they're making fantastic progress at the moment. On this channel also, we don't just record videos on Talmud. We're like an online encyclopedia of the history of great rabbis yesteryear. Now, what I like to do is, I like to go to different places every single day to record over many of these videos. I like to keep it spontaneous and active. So just bear with me for a minute. I'll just show you, we've got a collection of different fruits. I just happen to be in a ice cream place at the moment. Which קצפת היום? כן, קצפת. אפשר לקבל הפוכים קצפת? קטן. You can see the different selections of fruits you've got it just to powerade the day. Just need a coffee to start off the morning. Oh yeah, I've got to place myself. So friends, I'm getting ready now to record a video. We're going to record on the history of the Jewish community of Venezuela. So watch this space. We're going to be back on in a few minutes over here and explore the history and do a feature length, a long video on the history of Venezuelan Jewry. We already spoke about other countries. Part of this online encyclopedia, we're speaking about different countries of yesteryear, the great Oriental communities they had, Ottoman places, and the synagogues, the culture, the rabbis in those places who take move. So it's very exciting as we can record it. In fact, yesterday we recorded a live video within regards to the country of Panama. We also spoke about Cuba, Colombia, Uruguay. So we also spoke about Brazil. So the next plan over here on this series is to actually, hopefully, record about the country Venezuela in the coming minutes. So watch your space for over here. Please subscribe to the channel and join at the moment. We also do tours all over Israel. We look everywhere. We try and explore all over Jerusalem, different synagogues. We also explore, let's say, the religious streets, yeshivot. We're doing a special series here on this channel where we record with different great Jewish personality of current year, but to give over a burst of wisdom every single day to inspire us for the week coming. So we've done a lot of tidbits with regards to that, with a lot of great current rabbis. We've got a huge rabbi coming up tonight inside the channel, so that's something also not to be missed over here, friends. So I'll just leave you with some scenes over here. Just inside the coffee shop here itself. And guys, get ready in 5 minutes time, 5-10 minutes. I'm going to be going live with a video on Venezuela over here. So just selections of different fruits of Israel just to leave you with. A special treat. There's some of the ice creams of Israel. Actually recording this in the city of Shemesh. Ramat Shemesh Aleph to be precise. This is being recorded at, so very, very interesting. So I think on that note, wishing you a great day and take care. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thank you.